Chris, how you doing? This is Ashley. This is the video that Gary reached out and was speaking to you guys about. I'm really excited to make this video for you. I'm excited to show you everything that I found. I'm going to try and make this video as short as I can. I obviously don't want to waste anyone's time, including my own. So once you are finished watching this video, reach out. Let's talk and we can take things from there. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is your current website. Now when it comes to having a website, it's all about how user-friendly it is, how easy it is to navigate that site, and to be able to cater to different types of people coming to your website for whatever reason that may be. Sorry about that. Now, what I mean when I say that is when somebody comes to your site, they don't want to have to scroll throughout your entire website just to figure out what services you offer, let alone what areas you offer those services in, how they can get a hold of you for those services, so on and so forth. So what we like to do in every single one of our websites is have all that information readily available. So what I mean when I say that is when somebody comes to the site, we want to have those services in a drop-down menu. That way they can see all the services that you have to offer without having to click on the services tab and read throughout that services page. Same thing with the areas that you service. Have like an areas we serve type tab that also drops down into a tab that shows all the different areas that you're willing to travel to. The next thing that I want to talk about is ways for people to get a hold of you. So there's multiple ways. There's by phone and there's by message. So the first thing that I would suggest for you guys to do is, yes, your phone number is over here. Yes, it's click to call, but I would have it somewhere over in here. This looks like part of your logo, which I really didn't even see the phone number there. I would have a separate phone number right over here in the corner somewhere that is, you know, bright and that people can visually see. This is how they can call you. Now, because some people are at work, some people can't talk on the phone, or some people don't want to talk on the phone, we need to make sure that we have multiple ways for people to get a hold of you for those services you're offering. So what I would suggest is to have a form submission option. Somewhere right here is fine, but what that does is that caters to the opposite type of people who don't want to talk on the phone, who are at work, like I was saying before. So the next thing that I'm going to touch base on is your content. Now when it comes to content, it's considered king in the eyes of Google. So the more content you have, the better. Now looking at the content that you guys have a little bit, which is definitely a start, but it's not enough to be considered an authority in the eyes of Google. So you need a minimum of 1,500 words in order to be considered an authority, and you guys just aren't there yet. Now, if your competitor has 2,000 words of content, they now have more than what you guys have. Even though you're at that 15 word marking and you're considered an authority, we now need to go get more than what they have. So speaking of your competitor, I did a general search in the area. Mind you, this is just one generalized search term. It's called a keyword that I'm looking up. I could have looked up a million different phrases in all the different areas that you serve with all the different services that you have to offer, but this video would be way too long. But I am willing to show you all of that information if you are wanting that. So speaking of your competitor, these guys over here, I'm going to show you how to beat these guys. Now, if we take a look at their site, we can see they have their click-to-call phone number. They have their contact form. Again, not very user-friendly of a website. But what they do have that's working is this our services tab and how they're in a drop-down menu. Again, it makes your site just that much more user-friendly. Another thing that they have that is currently working for them is they have a little bit more content than what you guys currently have. Now, these guys do not have much more content at all. They are not considered an authority in Google, but they have more than what you guys have, and that's one of the reasons they're currently outranking you. So if we were to work for you, once we go and we do what we need to do as far as content goes, we'll be beating these guys out very easily. Now, the next thing that I want to touch base on is the power of your website. So we come to a paid resource I pay monthly for, and we're looking at the stats of your website currently. Now the UR is how strong or how trustworthy or legit Google looks at your site. This number goes all the way up to a 100. Yours is rated a 4.2, which tells me Google does not look at your site as very trustworthy or very legit. Definitely not having enough content is one of the reasons why you're rated so low. Now you have 60 backlinks, which is quite a bit, but they're only rated a 1.7, which tells me the backlinks that you have are not trustworthy, they're spammy, they're weak, they're not relevant. That is why we want the most relevant backlinks for the most effectiveness in order to get ranked in that organic section that I'm about to go over with you here in a minute. Now, because of all this, you're only getting one person to your website every single month. This is a per month number, keep in mind. So imagine all the other business that your guys' competitors are getting and all of them added up. You know, that's a lot of business that you guys are missing out on. So coming over here, I'm just going to break down Google for you based on this search that I did. So the first part of Google is the Google Guaranteed section. Basically, this section, Google will guarantee the job up to a certain percentage in terms of money. Now, the conversion rate for these are pretty high, and that's great for you guys because, as I'm sure you're well aware, when somebody calls you, they're more prone to actually making a purchase rather than maybe filling out a form submission option. Now, don't get me wrong, form submission options have their own conversion rates, but that's just that. So moving on down to the next section of Google, this is the Google My Business section. Now this is a very important section to want to be in, as any part of Google is. Remember how I said earlier, some people come to your site and they want to message you, some people come and they want to call you. Same thing with Google. Some people strictly come to Google and go to the Google Guaranteed section. Other people come to Google and strictly come to the organic section. Whatever the case may be, we need to make sure that you're in multiple spots. Now, as you can see, you're currently ranked here for the Google My Business for this keyword, but just because you're ranked here for this keyword doesn't mean you're ranked there for, let's say, let's look up drain cleaning. Okay, so you're there for drain cleaning as well, but that's, you get the idea. That don't mean that you're ranked there for all the keywords. So what we would do is go find all the keywords we find that you're not rated there for and get you rated there and ranked in that section. Now, to get ranked in that area, what you want to do is have citations, geotagging your pictures, getting reviews. Those are some things that could help you out with those listings that aren't ranking. Now this organic section here, as you can see, you're not ranked in this organic section for this keyword, but if you saw earlier for this keyword, you are. So again, that just goes to show that you're not ranking for every keyword that you should or would want to be ranked for. So in order to get ranked in this organic section down here, you would want the most relevant backlinks for the most effectiveness, and that's where our SEO comes into play. That is where we are going and finding your competitors' backlinks that are working for them. We are getting them for you. We are building our own powerful backlinks. We have access to very powerful backlinks that only our group has access to, and we are very privileged when it comes to that, because backlinks are something that you do not want to mess around with. It is something that can tank your website by having a not so user-friendly backlink. So that is all that I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'd love to talk some more and kind of go over things that I've talked about. If you have any questions, reach out either way. Let's talk. And yeah, I look forward to hearing from you. Bye, Chris.